Well, have I told you the story of when my life resembled Wolf Creek one night?
Right.
I was
Hang on.
in year 11 at school, and my parents, I was at boarding school, they lived in a place called Roxby Downs, which is 8 hours north of Adelaide. It's almost the middle of Australia, Roxby Downs. And I was doing some part-time work at a music store. It was Brash's, and it was a family friend of ours, and I was working, and they insisted that I work the Christmas Eve shift until midnight, which Dad was a little bit sort of nonplussed about because he had to drive the 8 hours.
How old were you, by the way?
I would have been 16.
Yeah, okay.
The 8 hours.
And were you giving like musical recommendations? Was there kind of Luke's picks?
There was a lot of Dire Straits being sold at that stage, and it's really unusual that I was in a music store in hindsight.
Yeah.
But so it was an 8 hour drive down. So Dad drove the 8 hours down to pick me up just before midnight, and then turn around and do the 8 hour trip back Christmas Eve.
To get home for Christmas.
So get home for Christmas,
Jeez.
Christmas breakfast, and that stretch of road is almost perfectly straight. It's the blackest of black nights you'll ever see. You don't, and you cannot see a car there for 3 or 4 hours on that road. So we take off, picks me up just before midnight, clock off, take off, and Dad, trying to keep him awake on the way. It turned this night into one of the most bizarre nights I've ever had in my life. About 2 hours in, out of nowhere, middle of the desert, hardly rains out there. A rainstorm came that was so thick and so heavy, almost had to pull the car over this, but you couldn't see the side of the road. And you thought, if one of those big trucks is coming the other way, we're gone. So Dad slowed the car down to about 40 k's an hour. Then you were worried. The rain was so heavy, you thought we're going to get hit from behind by another car. So that went for about 10 minutes. We're just as nervous as you've ever been in a car. Come out the other side, and it was almost like, did that actually happen? Was there any rain? Did we just imagine that? Drove for another hour and a half, didn't see a car. We hadn't said a word. Literally, out of the pitch black of the night, a guy comes out, blood on his face, cuts side, runs in front of the car.
Oh, no.
Dad swerves around the car. I mean, you're doing 140 in those days.
You've sat next to me for 10 years and you haven't told this
Well,
story.
you didn't ask me the question.
Okay. Keep going.
And as we sort of slow down, about 200 metres past, by the time you slow down, Dad's going, we've got to go back and save it. I'm 16 going, keep driving. You're kidding. Like, where did this guy come from?
Yeah.
What did he do? How do we? And then we're in that nervous sort of 20 seconds. I'm counting the steps going, he's catching up to the car.
Right.
Do we wait and help the guy out if he's misadventure, or is it some psychopath out of the desert who's got a knife and he's going to take over the car?
Yeah.
I've convinced.
And
Dad,
you're in South Australia, so it's a chance.
fair chance.
Absolutely.
50-50.
Wolf Creek,
50-50.
middle of nowhere. What do? Do you
Rolling
keep
a
driving?
barrel. Yeah.
So I then go, got to go, and the nearest town is a place called Woomera, which is about middle of nowhere.
Well, they used to launch the rockets.
But even more bizarre, so we get to the next, there's a railway line, the only railway line, middle of the night, the boom gates are down. So we sit there and wait. But I'm still thinking this guy's close enough.
This
to find
guy's
his
running
way
behind you.
to
And now
boat.
he's pissed off because you drove past.
Correct.
Yeah.
We're waiting at the boom gates. No
and
train.
you're at the Woomera rocket range, which of course is full of spies and all sorts of things going on.
And I'm not. I could get Big D on the line and can confirm this. And then we're waiting at the railway line. No train. Seconds ticking. I'm going
Almost like a trapper murderer would said if he was going to hunt you down and kill you.
And I'm saying, go round the railway line. Go round the way. And Dad's going, I can't. I can't go around. I can't go around the railway line. And then eventually we decide we've got to. And that second when you cross the railway line and you go, the train's going to come now for sure. It was Wolf Creek, Stephen King novel, all in one. We drove to the Woomera police station and said, hey, look, courageously, there's a guy back there somewhere. We didn't want to stop. Maybe you want to go and find out if he's okay. Never heard.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Wake him up out of bed. Never heard as to whether or not that person was ever found before. But Wolf Creek meets Stephen King. Got home in one piece.
Well, you did. Yeah. Left the poor guy to die in the desert. Let's not forget that guy.
So let's go back. Let's leave the Hollywood out of it.
Could have been a hero.
Dying in the desert.
Left a bleeding man to die in the desert on Christmas Eve, you monster.
Yeah, there was a lot
Two
of
great AFL footballers, the pride of the West. Oh.
Well, it didn't say there was a lot of compassion. It just said every man for himself out in the outback. Hey, we called into the cops shop and
in the
sent
next
out
state.
reinforcements.
Someone else's problem.
Would you have stopped?
There's a bleeding guy somewhere in that desert. Good luck.
Would you have stopped?
I would have told the driver to pull over.
Would have sent Finn out.
Finn, check. Let's see what's going on.
Carla, go back and check out. See if that guy's any good.